Christopher Ward has finally perfected the 12 format with the new 660. This is definitely my favorite version of the 12 so far, and I'm not afraid to say it. So when the 12 first came out, I honestly wasn't super excited about it. I'm just not an integrated sports watch kind of guy, and there was an awful lot of them coming out, and there still are a lot coming out, which surprises me. But I don't know, when I saw Christopher Ward was doing it, I was just like, oh, why are they hopping on this train? Turns out it's because they designed a really, really nice watch. So, you know, the 12 has become a very successful line for the brand, and I'll say I've eaten my words in person. They're lovely watches. I still am not an integrated sports watch kind of guy, so I haven't picked one up yet, but I honestly think this one might change that. So this is the 660. What 660 stands for is 6.6 millimeters. This is a very, very thin watch. Christopher Ward has made a very thin watch before. I think it was 2018. They did a watch called the C595, something like that. It was an ultra thin dress watch. It was super elegant, and it was honestly something that it kind of is sad that it left their line, but they changed everything since then. That watch doesn't fit into any of their current categories. So the 12 is the logical place for them to bring it back. Being an integrated sports watch, it sort of splits the difference between, well, sports and dress, you know, and that's kind of one of the things that is really nice about this kind of watch is that they do double duty as formal watches if you need them to. And one of the things that I think makes a dress watch really a dress watch and really great and successful is actually being very thin. There's just something more elegant about it, slips under the cuff, as they say, very easily. There's something just also kind of magically appealing about an extra thin watch. Now, admittedly, 6.6 millimeters isn't breaking any records, but with this particular design, it reads really thin, particularly because you have the bezel still, the mid case, the case back, a little bit of even an elevated crystal here. So it reads like this just crazy engineered ultra thin watch. It's also not actually using a fancy movement to get there. There's no micro rotor in here. It's using a Sellita SW210, a fairly run-of-the-mill hand-wound movement at this point in time, but they did actually go the extra mile with it and redecorate it, and not just in terms of the finishing on it, they actually created their own plates for it, so it has a totally different design. You're not going to see another SW210 that looks like this, and what's cool is that they created those plates with their own manufacturing infrastructure. So since the Bel Canto, since Christopher Ward has really like bloomed into this kind of crazy manufacturing independent brand, they built up their capabilities, and now they're starting to show what those capabilities will look like in more of their standard watches. So obviously you have the Bel Canto, you have the C12 Loco. Those are both nearly $5,000 watches. It's not your everyday watch for them. This watch is sort of now their standard fare. It's more expensive than their watches used to be, but it's not in their like highest tier of watch yet. So what is it priced at? Well, this version in DLC is $1,550 on a rubber strap and $1,790 on the bracelet that you see here. So that puts it actually just under their titanium models. So this isn't like a new jump up in price either. It sits firmly within the 12 family. But just getting back to it and why I really like it. So there are a few other things, not just that it's thin. 38 millimeters in diameter, it's about 43.6 millimeters lug to lug. There aren't traditional lugs here because it is an integrated design. The bracelet is really thin as well. Obviously, they had to thin that out to match the case. So they're like 2.9 millimeter thick links, which that's a very nice thickness to them. They're both solid and yet not overly thick for the watch. One of the things that I've actually not loved about the 12 watches is the dial texture. It's just very aggressive on their normal C12 watches. It's sort of this like crisscrossy pyramid sort of shape thing. This is much more simple and plain. Here, obviously, you have a black dial. It has a very, very subtle texture to it, and I believe some lacquering. And then there are still applied markers on there that are faceted and look great. It's pretty impressive to have that with how thin this is. As you'll notice, there's also only hour and minutes, no seconds. That is part of how they reduced the height on this watch. By eliminating the seconds hand, you can bring the crystal closer. And when you look at this thing up close, you'll see like it is a tight squeeze in there. There's not much room between the crystal, the hands, and the dial. So that went a long way towards sort of trimming it down. Once again, the movement is this new design. This version has a smoked crystal on it, which is very cool looking. It does, however, sort of like obscure the decoration a little bit. It is a rhodium plated movement. It does have vertical brushing on it as well as like diamond polished bevels. You have to sort of catch the light to see it though because of that smoked glass. but I do like the all dark aesthetic. I mean, I get what they're going for here, and it is pretty slick. Putting the watch on though, this is where this watch just really sings. This is just like how I want an integrated bracelet watch to fit. It feels elegant and luxurious. It's like neither small nor big, and then it has presence to it, but it's not overcoming my wrist at all. It really is just sort of a perfect fit for my wrist, which is about 6.75 inches, by the way. And what this also leads to is just a more comfortable watch. And I think for me, because I don't love bracelets actually in general, that's sort of the thing that would make this watch win out over other models. It's just thin and light and very easily wearable. And I mean, it looks kind of badass too. Obviously this one's all black, and I feel like all black watches have that, sort of sleek, stealthy, techy look to them. It takes to all black really well. I would be very tempted to go for this model. Maybe if I had a dream version or something, it would be titanium, weigh next to nothing, and be totally blasted, but a boy can hope. There are other versions of it. It's non-coated with steel, and then there's 3 different dial colors, I believe blue, green, and white. The steel models come in a little bit less at $1440 on a strap and $1660 on a bracelet. So, just a kind of hair beneath this model in all black. I think if I've been sort of on the fence about the 12, but you're interested, you're 12 curious or something, this one might win you over just because of how elegant it feels and how nicely it wears. This is a watch I could absolutely see wearing every day, and it's designed to be an everyday sports watch. So once again, this is the Christopher Ward 12 660 in black. I think that this is just a home run for the brand. Other than the Loco, probably my favorite watch that they've come out with this year. Definitely my favorite of the normal 12 models. They're really bringing some of the skills that they've learned at that higher price point, some of the infrastructure they've built out, and they're putting it into more of their normal range now. This is a really high quality watch. It feels just as nice as a 5-figure luxury integrated bracelet watch. It's really that impressive. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you can, and I'll see you soon.